Perhaps one of the most significant areas where we can have a great impact on the success of our companies, our organizations, our sales team is this area called workplace culture. And more importantly, what this video is about is how do we create a great sales culture? The two are related. And I think primarily it's to understand the shift that's going on in the world today and knowing that there's changes that we have to embrace, because if we don't, we either lose the good employees or we have a hard time attracting even new employees coming on board. And we need to build this team, and we need to know what their wants and their needs are. Now you have the old school thinking, which I'm a little bit older, and I've been in the situation where hey, you just show up, you get your paycheck, you work hard once a year, you get your annual review and your pat on the back, and maybe you get a 2% raise, and that's good enough. But today it's a little bit different, as we all can see. And it's been shooken up a little bit about COVID, everything that's going on in the world, people questioning their values and what they want to do in their life, the fact that they can virtual work now. But if we can take all these things and still have the basics of fun, happy, meaningful, successful, great, build that great team, this is really what it's all about. And so now more than ever, I think this is a wonderful topic to talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about is, what are the needs? Like, what are these basic needs of fulfillment? Well, there's 8 needs. And number one, the first need is the need for certainty and clarity. They need to know that their company is a great company, it's stable, there's certainty about their job, there's clarity around their role, what they need to do, clarity around the meetings that they have, and when they're, what the expectations are. So these are really, really important. The need also for a little bit of uncertainty, which falls into the needs of challenges. Everybody loves the challenges where they can help solve problems and they can grow. So challenges are important. Of course, salespeople, they thrive on challenges. The need for creative expression. So everybody's wired a little differently. A lot of salespeople are great with relationships, so they thrive on relationships. They thrive on networking. They could be also very, very motivated around getting results. Most of them are, but they also might be that one that's the enthusiastic person, or the joke teller, or the problem solver, or whatever. There's characteristics that are also in there that may need to be expressed. So the need for creative expression is an important thing as well. The need for progress. They need to know that they're moving forward. And part of that is, is there a growth structure within the company? Can they move up into management someday? Getting to know what their goals are will really, really help. And if you have a program where there's like sales training or other certificate programs, maybe that they can learn by having an outside provider provide it for them, or modules that they can take, or maybe there's a program where that you allow credit for courses being taken at nighttime or whatever. So progress is a big one, and a lot of employees today do look for companies that allow for progress. The need for fun and excitement. The need for fun and excitement. Sales contests go right in line with this, and salespeople do like fun and excitement. The need for collaboration and teamwork. We're going to talk a little bit more about that one, but we're shifting from the me or the individual type of belief system to the we, right? To the team. And the more that we can involve the team aspect, the better the results end up being. The need for meaning and purpose. So a company that has a great vision statement or is making a difference in the world, people like to belong to it. They like to know that they're making a difference in people's lives. And salespeople are. They definitely are. The need for recognition and appreciation. So that's got to be in the program. That's going to come from you. And it's also going to be something that is somewhat consistent when you see them hard work and the results that they're creating. All right. So what makes a great sales culture? So these are the ones that I would actually, score yourself, maybe get out a pen and pad and write these down and see where you're doing well, or maybe some areas that, you kind of need to shed some light on and make some changes. But number one is you need to be the cheerleader. And so do you need to be super enthusiastic, rah, rah, rah? No, if you're not that type, that's fine, but you can't be stuck in a closet, stuck in your office all day long and not meeting with your team. So you need to be the one that is the strength, the one that has the vision, the one that when the team or an individual on a team may be behind and it's the last week of the month and you're there to say, hey, you can do this, there's I'm behind you, I know you can succeed. This is really crucial. The cheerleader of the environment, the cheerleader of the team. It's about keeping them focused. It's about keeping them accountable and excited and seeing that they're going to achieve that. And even that individual salesperson that's in a slump, the cheerleader is the one that really can help them. Structured meetings and consistent cadence. It depends. Everybody's a little different. But I like having the morning meeting. Doesn't have to be long, can be fast, and it can be just basically going over the numbers, going over a few highlights. Maybe even that's a great time to call somebody up that's been doing really, really well, and just kind of setting the day and getting them off to a good start. You need to also have one-on-one meetings. This is so true. We used to think that we can put those off. It's good to have some sort of a cadence, touching base with each salesperson one-on-one, especially if you see them struggling with something. The one-on-one meetings are great check-ins. You want to make sure that they're happy with their job and they're receiving, and achieving the success that they want, as well as it's a great time to be able to offer some mentorship and some coaching. Numbers, but not only numbers. Numbers are so important. We can't live without numbers. But I have seen organizations where they drove the numbers so much everything was numbers, and they lost their salespeople. The salespeople didn't feel appreciated. They didn't feel recognized. They put in a lot of hard work. The numbers were down, and I've seen managers, actually, take that threatening or negative approach. If we don't achieve our numbers, somebody's going to get cut or whatever. So it's about having a few select numbers that you can track easily. Now, whether you're using CRMs or spreadsheets, but you want to make the reporting simple, because salespeople don't want to be bogged down with reporting. You don't want them bogged down with reporting. You want them out, meeting people, getting involved with networking. And their day is so important that you want to make it just so simple that they can track either in the moment or at the end of the day, put in the data that they need to. And so you have the numbers that you can make measurements by. And I always like to have some activity-based numbers, like number of calls, number of contacts, number of appointments, but also the results, like number of, the dollar volume. Where are we for the month relative to our monthly sales quota, or number of new accounts. So always have a little balance, not too many numbers, have full transparency so everybody can see the numbers. Make time to go over them, a little bit around strategy too, because if they need help with closing deals, quite often as a sales manager, one thing you're going to probably be doing is you're going to help them close these deals, help them move things forward. All right. Do sales activities together. Yay. So there's times, being in a sales management role, I've had to, roll up my sleeves and I get on a phone at my desk, somebody else gets on the phone. We say, you make 5 calls, I make 5 calls. And it's a way to get them excited, get them going. Now, do you do that all the time? No, but there's times you need to do that. There's times that you need to maybe have them sit and listen to you make a few calls. This also goes into role playing. I think role playing is a key thing. Have them role play with you a script or something that is around, objections that they may come across. So teach them how to handle objections. And the more role playing you do, the more confident they get, and the more they're going to pick up that phone or get out, start walking through doors. So you also want to get out of the office with them, right along with them for one day. Now, the way I would do that is meetings, always schedule your meetings on a calendar. With these one-on-ones where you're going out on the road with them, schedule on your calendar, but maybe just tell them the day before, because you don't want them planning their key accounts, cherry picking certain accounts. You want to catch them somewhat cold and then Obviously it could be the day before saying, we're going to go out on the road together, but you want to go to their networking events with them, maybe bring them to some of your networking events. This is something we know networking is powerful in so many B2B and B2C sales industries, that networking is something typically we want them to do, and we can encourage them by bringing them to our events as well as we can go to their events as well. So you want to go to anything, appointments. You definitely want to do the activities along with them. Doesn't have to be every day. Obviously, if you have a large sales team, you're going to have to spread this out because you'll be spending one-on-one time with each one of them. A sales coach, mentor, sales leader, manager that sits in the office and doesn't get out and do these things, they'll lose their salespeople, especially today more than ever. And employees that are going virtual, this is more where you really need to do this, because if they're out there virtual, quite often their enthusiasm might be down. They need that partnership, and you're that partnership towards their success. All right, so coach, mentor, role play, yes, absolutely, that's key. Create fun sales events and contests. They don't have to be all the time, but I would say have something that vary it up a little bit. Have phone blitzes. So if you have, let's say, Tuesday is Tenacity Tuesday, and you're going to sit down with your team and everybody's going to get at their desk and everybody's going to bang out a bunch of calls, maybe have a 2-hour time spot, and then whoever lands the most appointments, you want to recognize that person. Maybe you can give out a prize or something to them. I've seen people actually where they've got the wheel, the little roulette wheel or whatever, they spin that, and whatever it lands on, maybe it's a $10 gift certificate or some other little prize. This is make it fun. And also, if you can, whether it's phone blitzes, whether it's the 21-day challenges, or maybe there's a monthly special and everybody's going to focus on closing as many deals within a special, create something. And also, instead of having the contest always individualized, again, since we know we're going from the me to the we type of culture, create teams and balance it off. Maybe you have somebody who's a really strong salesperson with somebody that's new, and then have another team. If you have enough employees, you can create 2 teams, great. If you can create 3 teams, great. But the team effect, they start collaborating together, they start mentoring each other, and it's a lot of fun. So I've seen great organizations that actually has taken us to the level of creating the teams, and of course recognizing at the end or some sort of prize that they're given. A lot of companies, the old school thinking was like, have the trophies at the end of the year, right? That's a long time. That's a really, really long time. People are motivated at that moment, but the reality is maybe only 1 or 2 people get those trophies, and there's a lot of people. By doing it more frequently, you're going to engage more people. And what the data shows is consistent, repeatable, short-term events create long-term sales growth. So that's why you want to be able to do this and create a lot of fun with it. Don't sell against them. If you've got some accounts, think long-term, because maybe it's time to give them the accounts. You definitely want to give them leads. You want to be supporting them. You want to be helping them close the sales. You want to be coaching them, especially if you go out and you do those one-on-ones where you're riding along with them. You come out of a sales call or come out of a pop-in, and you're sitting in the car together. Ask them, how do you think it went? What would you have done differently? And if you happen to catch something that you can teach them on, share that, right? Because you're their coach, you're their mentor. Get to know them, get to know their goals, get to know their life, get to know their family, their hobbies, and their challenges. I think the more that you know this, the more that becomes relatable, and there's great loyalty that's created. Most employees, even on their worst day, will not leave a sales leader. They won't leave the company. They won't even look for another job if they feel there's a connection there, because somebody took the time to get to know them, their life, their family, their situation, their goals. And so many of these goals are relatable to sales success. I remember I shared with one of my sales managers that I wanted to ride my bike through Scotland and England and Wales, and then later I rode in Yellowstone. Well, every year I did this, but the sales manager was always like, Ron, another sale, another day closer to that bike ride in Scotland, right? So he knew my adventure, he knew my goals, and he related to it, which was really, really important. And then recognize, appreciate their hard work and success. Sometimes it's just taking that moment to say, thank you. I know you're struggling a little bit, but really thank you. I see you're out there. I see you working. I see you're coming back with a bunch of business cards. Maybe, it's time for that one-on-one to sit down with them, but always recognize their hard work. Always recognize the fact that whether they show up early, work late, follow through, recognize their hard work and recognize their success. If they landed a great deal, thank them. To say that makes a big difference to us and to our company. That account that you picked up is a huge one for all of us. Thank you for doing that. So again, go through these, score them, and maybe if there's something else you're like, hey Ron, there was some other area that really helps with sales culture, share that with me. By all means, share with me, what are you doing that improves your sales culture? But hopefully you found some of these to be very relative and very helpful for creating long-term sales success. Thank you.